Coming in hot! So much fun. That is so much fun. I don't know why. I don't know why I enjoy that so much, bro. It's so much fun. Hey everybody, it's your boy Z. We are back with another one. Today's build is being brought to us by Sneaky Beaver. So, without further ado, we're going to check it out.
Alright, let's take a look at how much damage just a Thunder Crash can do on its own with a debuff.
Okay, so this is with the so with weakening, I guess? Some sort of weakening? 99999.
It does what?
1.45. I'm not surprised. I've seen Titans running this.
Tethered.
Okay. 99999 again. I've definitely seen Titans running this build this season, so this does not surprise me at all.
No, A-Tracks, anytime you want to, you can look straight at us.
Yep, agree.
And out of ammo.
Come on, T-Crash, yes!
There we go.
And all that before the bomb phase.
5.8. So I did about
okay, first things first.
million
How we
damage
looking,
for
boys? How's the drip? Do I look like I'm straight
drip.
out of the Matrix?
Good job, Sneaky.
Okay, no, actually, for real though. So, today I want to talk about Titan DPS. Recently in this episode...
So, real quick, I would say, you made your point with the first boss. Probably could have cut the video off, like, you know, maybe 40 minutes shorter. That little intro, the intro could have been 40 minutes shorter, but I get it. You're making a point.
Episode, we've had a lot of really, really dumb things come out for Titan where they can take advantage of the meta in this episode, mainly Bolt Charge with things like Le Monarch and Thunderlord and Anarchy in certain encounters.
And Queensbreaker.
But what about combining the stupidity of Bolt Charge with Storm's Keep with the best DPS weapon currently in the game, at least for this episode, that being conveniently an arc weapon, Queenbreaker. Ignoring Bolt Charge for a second, and we already know how stupid that is in itself, Queenbreaker in its own right is already god tier, given that Linear's got a global damage buff this episode by 10%. Yes. Then Queenbreaker got a new sight, making it a 3-burst linear for DPS, and it got a brand new catalyst with literally one of the best perks in the entire game, that being rewind rounds. So combining the two...
Hey, hang on, wait. He said Queenbreaker's got a brand new sight. Like, okay, I've never been a huge Queenbreaker user. I have been playing Destiny since Alpha D1, which Queenbreaker's bow is a D1 weapon. For you guys that don't know, it came out. What was that? House of Wolves? Was that the DLC? I think that's when it came out. And like at the time, I wasn't a huge fan of any of those exotics. Because we had at the time we had Galahorn, which is absolutely crap. Everybody was using their Galahorn. And we had Icebreaker, which the OG Icebreaker is better than the new Icebreaker. It actually would just make ammo by itself. You didn't have to get any kills or do anything. You could just sit there and wait for it to make ammo. So those were like the two exotics that everybody was using when House of Wolves came out. But I feel like Queenbreaker's thing was that it always had 2 scopes, right? I could be wrong, but I feel like it always had 2 different firing options, but yeah, I don't know.
2 just means the build is going to be incredibly dumb. We're also going to be adding a brand new artifact to this equation with the Act 2 launch of Heresy, and that is going to be Limit Break, which states, casting a super while you're critically wounded or have an elemental buff matching your super element grants you a period of increased super damage, which we can easily accomplish.
I've actually used that with my Void Warlock build with Nova Bomb, which is super nice. Now he did 5.7 million damage to that boss. I've hit over 7 million damage on that boss before.
For our exotic armor piece, we're rocking Curse of the Falling Star to pump the damage of Thunder Crash, though I did want to mention that you can also opt to run Hazardous Propulsion in the event that you want to get some rockets out with your Rally Barricade, as you're going to be spamming it either way, but you do want to mainly utilize Curse because you're using Limit Break to pump the damage of your super anyway. Now we'll get back to the exotics a little bit later, but first let's go over the kit and explain why we're using certain things in this build with the thought of Act 2 already being out live and then adding some new artifacts which are going to be very good for this build. With that idea in mind, here we go. Our super is going to be Thunder Crash, of course, for damage. In our abilities, our barricade is going to be Rally Barricade, just to keep abusing Bull Charge as everyone has this entire episode. Next, for our melee, I'm going with Thunderclap. The main reason I'm picking Thunderclap is because if there are any trash mobs around us, basically anything that's lower than a yellow bar or a mini boss, we can just one-shot it with Thunderclap. When we do that, Thunderclap will give us Amplified. When we have Amplified, that means we're carrying an Arc Elemental buff, which means we're triggering Limit Break to do more damage with our super. So it's just an easy out. For my grenade,
I will say, I definitely prefer Thunderclap. I'm not like, look, I'm not a Titan main at all, but I prefer Thunderclap over, what is the other Arc Titan one? The Shoulder Charge one? I hate how you have to get like a running start to like activate it. Or isn't there even one where you have to like run and jump and like dive to the, like, dude, I would just take Thunderclap. I don't have time for all that.
A flashbang, no particular reason other than the fact that this episode I want to use anything that I can in my abilities to stun unstops, and flashbang does that. That's why I have this here, but you can replace this for a different grenade if you want.
No, I agree.
For my aspects, tell me if you heard this before, I have Storm's Keep and Knockout. I know, very original. No, but actually Knockout does play a purpose in this other than just being a stupid ability, and that is it gives me Amplified when I get melee kills. So when I was talking about Thunderclap earlier, that's what I was talking about in combination with Knockout. And then moving into our fragments, I have 4 of them. They are the following. Number 1, Spark of Ions. Defeating a jolted target or defeating a target with Bolt Charge gives us an Ionic Trace. Number 2 is going to be Spark of Frequency. The first half really doesn't matter, but the second half, which states, while amplified, the effects are increased and you gain increased stacks of Bolt Charge from all sources. That's the main part of this that we want, so that's why it's here. Number 3 is going to be Spark of Shock. Your arc grenades jolt targets, just some extra damage. And lastly, Spark of Resistance. While surrounded by combatants, you are more resistant to incoming damage. Pretty standard. Quick edit here. I forgot to mention the easiest...
Damn, I don't know if there were any hunters in there, but if he out DPS the hunters, that's pretty fucking impressive. Also, I will say, I love how, like, right here, I just paused on the screen just so I have a chance. But I love how he just shows you the build. And I've said it in previous videos, just show us the build and, you know, let us just pause the video and just copy it if we want and move on. Try it out for ourselves. I love when content creators do that. And I know it's nitpicky because most content creators, especially big content creators, they put a dim link in their video anyway. So it's like you just click the dim link and skip the entire video if you want to go that route. But I don't know, there's just something about it where it's like, oh, I can just pause the video, see the build, it's right there. I love when content creators do that. That's the way I do my build guides.
Way to become amplified besides the melee portion of this build, and that's going to be in our artifact, which is going to be Flashover. So when we gain maximum stacks of Bolt Charge, you also become amplified. Essentially, you put down your barricade, you wait a couple of seconds, and you're instantly amplified. Now, moving along, I do want to mention one more piece to this loadout, and it's going to be our kinetic slot weapon, at least in my case. And this is going to be Tanasha's Mastery. There's 2 reasons for this.
That's what I run.
It applies Choke Lip, which means it applies a Darkness debuff onto an enemy, so anybody on your team that's using Prismatic can take advantage of this to get bonus damage while they're on Prismatic with Facet of Courage.
I love that
sidearm. The second reason is, in the event that you cannot become amplified or have some sort of Arc Elemental buff on you, Tanasha's can give you self-damage, and you can make yourself critical, which then also does trigger Limit Break in the event that is your only choice to give yourself bonus super damage. It can just do that job by shooting your own feet at the floor. Now, of course, Tanasha's is...
No. See, like, I'm somebody that's all about survivability, and there is absolutely no way that I am going to get myself critically damaged in order to just do a little bit more damage with my super. You know, if you're already hitting like 1 million or 1.1, 1.2 million, I'm not going to critically wound myself so I can hit 1.4 million. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's just not worth it. It's not worth the risk of almost dying so that you could do just a little bit extra. I don't know. That's just me personally. I wouldn't do it, but to each his own.
Not mandatory. You can actually just use any rocket item that you like. The new Void one from the GM Nightfalls, Indebted Kindness, the Solar one from Echoes, and so on. Or if by some miracle you don't own a single rocket sidearm, you could also use any Waveframe GL and do the same thing. Aim at your feet, make your health critical, and once you do, you will have access to Limit Break to do bonus damage with your super. Now onto the gameplay loop itself. So it's pretty straightforward. You have one of two options to start your damage phase. You can either be immediately on Curse of the Falling Star, which I typically would recommend for most bosses, or you can start on Hazardous Propulsion if you're fighting a boss where you can't immediately Thunder Crash. For example, when you're fighting the Witness, 95% of that damage phase, you cannot Thunder Crash him. You will literally die trying. There is a small window where you can Thunder Crash when he tries to do the slam attack, where it would just kill you if you're touching the ground. You can jump and then activate Thunder Crash, and then literally hit the Witness's hand to do damage with T-Crash, and that is your only instance of doing that. So you can make the decision if you want to run Curious for that, or just run Hazardous the entire time and not do that. That's up to you, but that is your two options of how you want to start your damage phase. But most bosses are approachable, so for a standard damage phase, here's what I would do. I would make sure that I have some sort of buff ready, or I can immediately get a buff as the damage phase is starting to get amplified, so a melee kill, for example. Pop my barricade, make sure I'm amplified, then I pop my super with T-Crash, get Limit Break active with that, as well as Curse of the Falling Star for massive damage with Thunder Crash. Then I go back to my barricade, I keep building Bolt Charge stacks, I pop another barricade, missiles come out for extra damage, then I just keep shooting with Queen Breaker. In the event that it's an extremely long damage phase and you happen to get a second super back, at this point you might not have enemies to proc an instant amplified or get an arc buff, so you can utilize Tinashe's or whatever your other weapon is to try to lower yourself in health to proc Limit Break again, and then do your second super with bonus damage once again. But in most cases, you'll never have to worry about that, as 95% of the time the boss will be long dead before you ever get a second super, so don't put too much stock into that. Lastly, let's go over the armor mods. So for artifact mods, there's going to be the three big ones in the back, which are Flashover to do bonus damage with our bolt charges, Particle Reconstruction to do bonus damage with our linear, in this case Queen Breaker, and then lastly, normally I would say Defibrillating Blast, but in this case we have...
Again, like, I love how he's just showing the mods, just showing the artifact. Like, I've seen content creators that, like, they kind of hide it, and they just, like, show one mod at a time, one, like, artifact bonus at a time, and they pop up on the screen one at a time, and it draws the video out. And I get why they do it that way, because they don't want people just seeing the build and then leaving the video. They're doing it so they can, get the views and get the view duration up and all that. But again, a lot of those creators put a dim link in. So it's almost like, why are you doing this to us? What is the point of this when I could just click the link and just skip your whole video entirely? I don't know.
To replace that with Limit Break, because you can't have 3 mods on in that final column, so Limit Break takes the last slot. And for the actual armor mods, here we go at the top with Helmet. So the first mod is going to be a Siphon mod. In my case, it's a Void Weapon in my energy slot, but for you it might be something different. And then I have 2 copies of Hands-On next to it. So the main reason for this is because Curus has a second grade effect, which states that while amplified, you get bonus super energy on melee kills, and our melee makes us amplified, so it's basically instantly live when we get melee kills. This gives you chunks of super energy when you get a melee kill, and a great example for this would...
This is one of those, like, Hands-On is one of those mods, I don't know if I've ever used it, because I'm a Warlock main, and Warlocks don't go around punching everything. So, that's interesting, and Curus has the bonus super energy, so I love that. It is weird to me that he uses a Void Siphon, because I feel like I would use my Stasis Sidearm in my Kinetic slot, right? And then I would probably use an Arc Primary, right? And then some sort of Arc Primary, whether it's your Hand Cannon, Scout Rifle, Auto Rifle, whatever. I'm going to probably use an Arc Primary. And then Queen Breaker's Bow is also Arc. So it's, I don't, like it, each his own. If he wants to use a void primary, that's cool, but it's a little weird to me.
Be the Puppeteer, where you're fighting the Puppeteer, but it makes a bunch of clones, and then you can just punch the clones and get a ton of super energy from that. And in that case, you probably will have a second super in a single damage phase to use. So that's why I have these on in the helmet slot. And speaking of which, in my gloves, I have 1 copy of Heavy Handed for the exact same thing.
That makes
sense. I'm going to be getting melee kills, I might as well make an Aura of Power and get a chunk of super energy out of it as well. For the other two mods, I have...
But now, this is weird to... So it uses a void primary with an arc loader, which I get why he's using the arc loader for DPS for the boss. But it's like, why not just run an arc primary? That way you're taking advantage of both. Plus, it would cost you less energy to run an arc primary. So, I don't. It's weird. That's weird to me, man. It's just a weird decision. Plus, in arc primary, you have things like Volt Shot and like all the new perks. I can't even think of them off the top of my head. But you have all the new perks that also give you like Bolt Shot and all that. It seems like it would all flow together, right? I don't. Maybe that's just me, but I feel like I would just run an arc primary. I don't. Maybe. I guess. Well, I don't know. I was gonna say you could run a void primary if you're going for weakening. But I don't know how many void primaries even have Withering Gaze at this point. I know there's like a sniper rifle, and I know there's some machine guns that have it, and a rocket launcher. Yeah, I don't know.
Arc loader, which is pretty straightforward, and then one copy of bolstering detonation for when I throw a grenade and jolt an enemy or a boss. I'll also get some energy back into my barricade. For my chest, it's pretty standard: one arc resist, one solar resist, or whatever content you're doing, you need a different one, and then one copy of arc reserves just to get extra ammo into Queenbreaker. For my boots, it's pretty straightforward: 3 arc weapon surges to pump the damage of Queenbreaker, and then lastly, the class item, we have one copy of bomber to reduce our grenade cooldown when we use our barricade, one copy of distribution to reduce our cooldowns in every ability when we're near a target and we use our barricade, and then lastly, powerful attraction for when we do pop our barricade, we also scoop up orbs around us.
Okay, well, so first off, his armor mod, what do you say? It was boltering detonator, whatever. It gives you class ability. Isn't there one where like grenade damage gives you melee energy back? And since you're relying on your melee to get like amplified and stuff, wouldn't you use that instead? I feel like, right? Also, powerful attraction, like in my opinion, powerful attraction is more like a hunter mod. I don't know, it like I don't really run it on my warlock or titan, but it feels good on your hunter because your hunter you could like dodge and then you grab those orbs and you get your health. But you know the way I run a lot of my hunter builds is like when I grab orbs, I get health back, shields, things like that. So I could dodge, get my health back, and things like that. But I feel like since he's running 3 arc surges, wouldn't you want time dilation? Doesn't that make more sense? I don't know. I feel like that would be better. But
that were created during whatever phase of the fight we're in. All in all, the power creep for Arc Titans this episode is off the goddamn charts. It's actually ridiculous how they went from being absolute garbage tier and only using Prismatic Titan to now Arc Titan taking everything over and having basically a build for everything in the game. But what do you guys think? Agree? Disagree? In the meantime, I will have a dim link for this build down in the description below, as always. And if you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing today. It does help the channel grow and is much appreciated. If you want to go the extra mile, you could also leave a like and or comment below as well. If you don't know what to leave as a comment, you can leave Storm's Keep as the comment. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.
Nice. Alright. Shout out Sneaky Beaver. That was a great guide, man. Like, I absolutely love the guide. Like I said, I love how it just gives you the build. You can pause the video and make the build that way. A little nitpick was I feel like the intro could be 30 or 40 seconds, a little bit shorter. I love the fact how he was able to go through and explain every single fragment and aspect and things like that and why he picked those, why they do what they do. I have no complaints, man. I love the guide the way it was. It was right around that 10-minute mark. I don't know why. There's just something about like that 10-minute mark where that feels like the perfect build guide. Like, okay, this is quick, this is easy. I can watch this quick, 10 minutes. Let's go. I loved it. I love the way he did build guides. Like I said, I've never even heard of Sneaky Beaver. I love this guide. I would absolutely give this guide a 9 out of 10 just for the guide. So we are going to go ahead. We're going to go ahead and make this build. Hopefully I can hop into a GM with a couple buddies. We can try it out. And then at the end, we will do a full review.
Our logic is proved in violence, but many pretenders challenge your sovereignty. Do not disappoint us, heir.
Oh my god. I can already tell I'm gonna like this build, dude. I can already tell.
Levied, a death tithe must be paid. Whether it is your blood that is spilled or not,
Oh.
the deepest sake are the same. The strongest must assume the taken form.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I don't know how I survived that. But I did it. Oh my god, she just got melted, dude. This is so much fun. I'm loving the new Act 3 mods, bro. They're so nice. I'll show you guys what I got at the end of the video. Yeah! Yeah! I usually hate playing Titan, but this is so much fun, dude. Just one-shotting everything. Constantly amplified. Oh my god, you see that chunk? Jesus. That's so awesome, dude. I'm coming in hot, baby! Oh my god, that deleted him. I didn't even have my buff ready. Try rocket launcher. Ah, blew myself. It happened to the best. Solar sight? What the fuck? I don't want no solar sight, bro. Dude, I'm literally just constant amplified. Like, I'm never not amplified. This is awesome. I got 4 rockets in this bitch. Oh, I didn't even proc bolt charge. Damn it. Oh my god, dude. You can just chunk bosses down with this. Oh, shit. Come on, I got my Thunder Crash ready, baby. Let's go. Oh, 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 whoa, whoa. I'm not really sure what the mechanics are here. I'm amplified, so I want to hit my Thunder Crash soon. Is there a guy up there we gotta beat? Oh, yeah. Oh, this asshole. Oh my god. It's so much fun, dude. I'm so not used to playing this high aggressive, like, style, but it is so much fun. Oh, did I miss? Oh, shit. I made an oopsie. God damn, dude. Just delete everything. Yeah, my barricade just went away and I already got it back up. Alright, we're gonna try this. 4 rockets with bolt charge. Oh my god, it's beautiful. Oh my god, it's so much fun, dude. Oh, shit. Dude, that bolt charge, when it procs, it just deletes, bro. Let's see if I can proc it again. Yeah, look at that. Oh my god. Bruh. Oh my god. This might be my new favorite. I might be a Titan main now. This might be my new favorite character. This one, and with that Void Titan build I did like a month ago, I'm starting to like Titans. I'm starting to like them.
To take is a burden. You will become the voice of billions.
Oh boy.
Threat of their will
I keep forgetting to use my alternate fire.
by your word.
That was bad. Oh my god, that was good. Oh shit, deleted everything. Oh my god, look at my damage. 8.4 million. That's the most damage I've ever done in a quarter blades. Holy shit. Alright guys, you already know, like 10 out of 10 recommend. This build is so much fun. Now I ended up actually playing this build after Act 3 came out, so I had some new artifact mods to play around with. So I'll go over them in a second. I will say I probably would rather spec into intellect instead of strength. As you can see, I almost have triple 100s, but I feel like I wasn't really using my melee a whole lot, and it would have been a lot. But I was actually getting my super back pretty quickly. So if I would have actually been spec'd in intellect, I feel like I would have, been getting it back every couple of minutes, man, which I feel like would have just made this build so much better. So I maybe try that out. I don't have the armor to do it. And then what else? Since there are new artifact mods out, this is what I ended up going with: a rocket launcher, trace rifle, and sidearm. Now my original plan was to do a GM, but I ended up not being able to get a team together, and I need to get this video done today because it's been way too long. So the reason I went with these is because I was actually preparing for all three champs. So as you can see, I will be able to stun all three champs with this setup. Some of the mods I went with were like Beam Medic, Trace Rifle, Final Blows Heal You, which is what was giving me that survivability when I was just like, how am I surviving this? Like, it's crazy. Targets hit by your tangled or severed. Rapid Final Blows, non-exotic rocket launchers, refund ammo. Let's see. Defeating arc debuff targets grant bolt charge, obviously. When you gain maximum bolt charge, you also become amplified. Horde shell damage unravel targets with a weapon occasionally spawn a threadling, which is why I have the, I was running the sidearm. Trace rifles do more damage to targets afflicted by elemental debuffs, which I have the blinding grenades, so perfect. And then these two, casting a super while you're critically wounded gives you crazy damage. And then also to shreds, which I actually didn't even have to boost active. Right now there is a glitch going on for you guys that don't know, that if you, and I don't play on my Titan a lot, so I probably don't even have it unlocked on my Titan. No, I don't. But if you activate this boost right here, unraveling projectiles dealing, it gives you a 10% buff to your super that stacks onto all your other buffs. So didn't even have that active, and it was still just great. It was so much fun, dude. I absolutely love this build. I don't remember. Okay, yeah, I don't have the catalyst done on this saving yet, so I need to work on that. But man, like, I don't know, dude. Like like I was saying earlier, between this build and the Void Titan build, I think I'm starting to get the Titan itch, man. Like I'm starting to understand why so many content creators play Titan, dude. It's just a totally different place. Like, I have been a Warlock main for 10 plus years now, however long Destiny 1 beta's been out. That's how long I've been a Warlock. And so I've gotten so used to that, sitting back in a well and just like picking things off. And with like the Titan playstyle, it's just hyper aggressive. Just get in there. You're just knocking the shit out of everything. It's so much different. I highly advise you, if you only play one character mainly, like Hunter, Warlock, Titan, whatever, go out and try different builds of the other characters. It brings a whole different dimension to the game, man. It's almost like playing a different game completely. It's insane how much different it is. So I absolutely love this build. Like I said, 10 out of 10 recommend it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. I am the one and only Z. Bye bye.
Follow me.